and I don't have a third hand extension and stuff. I like to look at it like I'm talking to my wife. What? I forgot the passwords again? How come all this bullshit happens to me? So while you guys, like John and Forrest, are being somehow trolled by YouTube, I'm going to try and set this up so that, yeah, yeah, well, once I hit three minute mark, they'll be like staring at his blank screen, like, oh, it's all black, like the pants. It's not my fault. YouTube's a fucking like. But I'll stick with YouTube because it's like, why do you keep posting when nobody when you only have one or two viewers? If I can make one or two people happy, and then I know this person Lori. She feeds the pigeons, but she has political like things. She called Kamala Harris a bitch, and I was like, oh my god, such language, never like heard it. She's very gentle to the birds. She brings them to the wild birds fund, but then get her started on politics is like, so you're a disaffected Democrat, eh? It's like, welcome to the Republican Party. you know, me like Roseanne Barr is like like that too. It's like I know how to make fun of people. My girlfriend's taught me. Hey, you have a little pooper, you know, and then a person is instantly demolished. But you don't address the arguments that they bring up. It's like, okay, you win, and then like an earthquake happens. Why did that happen? Oh, because the guy with the little pooper or whatever. Yeah, he was trying to warn you. Should have listened. So your house is in flames or they're on a fault line. Maybe you should listen, because messages, like the devil will send like the worst messengers, so you'll instantly ignore. And later it's like, oh, God's unfair. God sent you all the warnings. Same with me, you know. There's a lot of warnings that I've ignored, probably willfully, and I deserve condemnation, punishment. I'm an embarrassment to all people. But my brain is like, all the other people are embarrassed by you, and I said, you're embarrassed of me. How could I embarrass all of you? I mean, how are you all embarrassed by me? I just carry messages for God. Expect very few people to catch it. Like Forrest and John, they have a pretext to just like talk. If they don't exchange more than like two words, they don't have any vibe. You know what I mean? It's like even though Nate said it's a good idea, I don't really like you as a person, and that's fine. They're hanging out in my stream. It's just like, well, are we gonna complain about this? Shouldn't we be fixing shit? Yeah. Like most people is like, oh, it's broken. I'm gonna complain. Who do you complain to when you're the top two repair team? It's just their complaint should be like, this shit's too easy. We can fix all this in a thing. But I know repair guys. If they see it's an easy job, they'll just like add hours. We just can't put our finger on the problem, and it gives them a break. Just like if John is like not really liking Johnny because it's like Raptor Johnny Smith or something, and then Forrest is like that kid ran like that. They can commiserate or concern. It's not really complaint; it's a concern, which is true. Once you do concern trolling, you're emotionally invested in it. Like right now, they're probably cursing me. It's like Nate, we're here. Yeah, sometimes John takes 5-10 minutes to set up his thing, but you should really hear like John Smith's talk. It's amazing. I heard this guy, you know, the voice of radio, but he's homeless, and then they tried to get him a job, and then he's still homeless because the people are feral. And I spent it all on crack. Oh well, you know. Maybe I'll get another chance. You never get another chance. They'll invest in you once, and then you spend it all on drugs. Well, you're better off on the street. We tried. It's not that you're worth it. We're worth it. You know. So this pretext, an outage or whatever, gives Force and John a legitimate pretext. For example, there's a Fed and a criminal overlord of the cartel, but they used to go to Japanese class together or cake making. And then what happened? It was like, well, I was called to this and called to that. and then let's visit. Like, what are you doing in this cake class? Oh, just keeping up. And then they bullshit. It's like, oh my God, Nate is the worst streamer of all time, sending code messages. So what are you doing there? Well, I was just there and I saw a horse and, and then Nate just had an outage, so it's bad. Fucking hate it. Meanwhile, like from their cake talk, this reminds me of like, icing goes first, then the cake, right? Like, unless it's the other way. You guys found it? YouTube advertised it again? Well done. Oh well. That was this thing. That's probably the Archangel Raphael. That's his church. You can see the traffic, other people's license plates, a Subaru, a Kia. It's just like, these are people in my raid. So I do the sign of the cross. But yeah, if they're still in there, and it's like, Nate, when are you coming back? I hope they're not dumb. I hope they'll avail of this opportunity to either live stream again or whatever. Horse is kind of lazy, you know? Like, I guess nothing much happens in Westchester because, he's respected there. I'm not saying it's an old folks' home, but still, when old folks respect you, you get to yell at them, get off my lawn, this is Westchester. Mister, your lawn isn't all of Westchester. That's a theory, pal. You know? And I'm trying to like guide all the feral people, but like, maybe he wants water or something. I don't know. Like, you know, I respect them because like they used to probably have weapons. You know, give this guy a sword, like a thing, he'll chop you up. Give him a hammer, he'll break windshields. Yeah, yeah. Hey, you want this? Yeah. And shit like that. You're doing a great job. Thank you for all you do. I just don't have cash. Enjoy, right? Thank you. It's thirsty work. I bought that at a Pret, and I was like looking for is $2.95 for a can of soda. But how many times does he drink that kind of stuff? Archangel Raphael, increase my patience with all these drivers. You know? Right now I'm driving with one hand and smoking with it. And my brother can, like, when he was doing weed or something with drugs, like he could roll and use his knee to drive. And it's like, wow. Some people, like, you can't tell them what to do because they know all their rights. Me too. Here, we're passing by a cemetery where all the people knew their rights and they had the right to be buried. You know, I'm not going to show you a cemetery. You know, there's a GPS. Hey Mercedes, I guess it's not a Mercedes. Hey fuckface. Yeah, I'm driving a Ford Transit 250. It's got a GPS going. Yeehaw. So how are you guys doing? You're probably kids or like 2-year-olds. What are you doing on the internet, 2-year-old? That shit's fucked up. Golly. Ah, I get to go to Dunkin' Donuts in Queens. Mark Mays was like, don't even step foot in Queens. Well, guess what? I'm here. Hey, John. So did you have a nice powwow with horse? Sorry for all the delay. I wanted to like hook you up with Imperator of Forge. Now his audio, no matter what, he doesn't even bother with like simulated driving streams. Broad rage in every framework. John, are you willing to name change just for a little bit, for a short time? It's like like John Hannibal Smith. It would be a real honor if you changed it to brief, like John Brief Smith, because our time was very brief. But in that time, you were able to like, let's say your bike was like, oh, this thing's a little wobbly. I should really balance the wheels. You know, in usage, it's just like it's time to make a few adjustments. Okay, well, the Smith Union, I understand. It's very, very, it's whatever. Talk to your shop steward. Like, hey, Smiths. Turns out etymology is like we used to build big things and hammer them with an anvil. I don't think you even have a like. I know you have a vise, but not a big 300-pound anvil. The best way to get anvils is to buy a castle, and then it's lousy with them. These are all rusted. Yeah, but you have like 900 anvils. They use them for chairs and shit. And the reason I say brief is because you said broad rage, and broad rage in every framework spells out brief. You said it, you wanted broad rage. It's like the way I read it. Road rage leads to a broad rage. I was surprised because not very few people would choose a BR like Brazilian. And also, I recommend you don't live stream getting a Brazilian. Hey, birds. Yeah. Renamed all pigeons to Lori's because she's a Democrat and now she's a full-fledged Republican. It's like that bitch Kamala Harris ruined this, and that idiot. I don't know, but wearing the name Brief, like one, you have cred with all conspiracy theorists because he was a Zionist mod or something. He still remains, but he does have temper tantrums. Like if Brief said, "Fuck all this shit, I'm gonna shoot you in the face with a shotgun," I'm just gonna look at CNN. Number of shotgun shots to the face have increased. Good one, Brief. Similarly, in your line of work, it's like how many bikes have I repaired? Too many to count, dude. You've repaired so many bikes, you've noticed that. Why is it always gray? Might take some time to update, but you have deserved like this name change. Most people wouldn't do it. Because right now you're contending with Johnny, Raptor Johnny. It's up to Raptor Johnny to feel threatened by you. It's like, why are you angry at me? Well, I'm Johnny and you're John. Either you change your name to Johnny Smith or I might not like you, even though, you acquired mod. However, I don't care. You know, I've heard like being mod is quite the expensive proposition. And as for Force, there's already a feud. It's like, yeah, you're just a fucking kid. I've done more. I've quit with more things than you started. Yeah, so you're banned right now. Like when my stream died because of my fault, you had a chance to collaborate with Force, and if it didn't work out, hey, it's like one of those first date things. So it didn't work out. You got mad. That means you guys were best friends in another life, and irreconcilable differences. You know, so at least I tried, right? Same thing with you. You try to do a name change, it takes time to update. They call that posting. It's like even with banks, give it time to post. I hate waiting, but like obviously, on driving and you have to wait for the lights to change. Yeah, come on, grandma. Get a move on. I don't know. See, that's the thing. The first thing, if your studio or your YouTube platform doesn't have instantaneous changes, well, that's your next crusade. Faster than light. You know? And I figure you're one of the greatest companions doing this because, like, you want somebody who's like, okay, why the fuck are all these potholes in a bike trail? I don't like jingle jangling. What am I, Ninja Blender and shit? So I'm smoking and lighting cigarettes, driving, talking to you. This is like the cortisol addiction. There's two kinds of addiction. One is the dopamine, where it's like I want to just lie down and sleep and not be disturbed by any idiots. And then the exact opposite, which I became, is like this isn't hard enough. You know, I want to be attacked by rabid polar bears while driving. Like I fought off like 50 of them. I'm lying, of course, but imagine you were all wrong about me. It's like Bruce Lee. He does this, and then you slow down the camera, you're like, You could also fool all your nephews. It's just like, a pre-cut apple, and it's like, I have a samurai sword, and then you just vibrate it, and then, oh my God, all the apples got cut in half, 60 of them. You know. Also, you could use your footage. Sound energy is like underused because we have a lot of sound pollution. Hello, Trinity. If you don't want to change the brief or YouTube won't let you, it's like wrong name, asshole. You have a choice, basically. If you want to be Chip, Chip is a hard name. It matches the forward thing. I'm talking to Steven Seagal soon, under a very clever camouflage in real life. So I won't be able to show you that powwow, but I can include you on the way. This is a very hush hush thing. Because they always say the destination road. They don't actually tell you where it is, and I wouldn't tell you. Like I couldn't if it's a matter of national security. Suffice it to say, I'm on top of asphalt. Any luck? You know. See, I know like people like John. If it doesn't instantly do, is like source of chaos here, and it's true. Once in a while, the people is like, this guy did nothing wrong. It's just there's a lot of thing. He attracts a lot of static. Like I don't think he intentionally hit his voice. It's just my way of the thing. So instantly, I thought, why don't you get some teleprompter thing or sub thing, just like those live streamers. This is me reviewing a thing. You know, PS5 is hard to thing or whatever your gaming computer, but there are ways. You could just get a broken LCD monitor or something, and it's just like it's an overlay physical until I figure out the software. Hardware is so much easier. If you're handsome, I zoomed in on John. He looks like Patrick Stewart. It's like the one person the Borg like. With John Smith around, I can be like Brent Spiner or something. Captain, it seems there's all this subspace interference. Normally, I can calculate all of this, but the Borg have done something. And he's tinkering. When I was a Starfleet intern, when I could hear the vibrations from a trillion microns. Yeah, okay, asshole. They never say asshole in Star Trek. It's like, who defeated the Borg? This all new alien race called the asshole. Really, the asshole. It sounds like a human name. No, 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 it's alien. They were preparing all of humanity for their imminent invasion. Really, there's an alien race called the asshole. Yes, like the Cardassians, or the Romulans, or the Vulcans. The asshole. I hope that someone's forced in here, because that would be a really good introduction. And now, the greatest asshole of all time, Foreskin. Here I am, a driver, padding my hours. When your salary is like, why are you just wasting your time? You get paid at a certain interval. Yeah, but I'm piggybacking. John is doing that. I'll give some background music too. No, no. And this is for your, you know, uh, like Forge is gonna talk about some all sorts of crazy shit like Uber Rothschild or something. Just to calibrate your audio. When it comes to vibration, it's very good. And it's a good way to test your stabilization gimbal. Just a bucket of sand or it's like, laundry or something. You just get your hamper. All right, I'm going to place this. Of course, it's not going to be good. It's worse. Foreskin. There's a lot of click, 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 click. He's intentionally muffling his microphone. So it's not gonna be good. You see how he's mocking you, John? This is how you talk. So hard to hear. I visited his streams many times. I believe the children are the future. I bet you, safe bet with all of you, he's not gonna sing. That's what friends are for. Good job, Force. Imperator of Forge is like muffling. No, this guy, Imperator of Forge. Basically, when you're driving, the focus is on the engines and stuff, you know? But your voice is enough. Like, even in the silence, you could do it. So this guy is very, like, Hitler motivated. He studied all sorts of things. He's like, he read the catechism. Yeah, I'm not a Catholic. I'm going to start an all new religion. So he's doing what you're doing, basically, without the rumbling. You see how hard it is to hear him? Yeah, that's how much trouble I had listening to your stream. And then he's going to talk very clearly soon. He's fidgeting. Like, yeah, oh, Hitler, blah, 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 Hitler, Germany, Reichstag, blah, blah, blah. It's not a personal thing. It's just mocking your equipment, too. Like, he'll take the low end. I do all this in a two family walk up, and using Pokemon microphones, and I still sound better than you. Yeah, that's what he does. He challenges people. So he kind of foresaw today's your stream. Saw it very clearly because normally Forge when he talks is like somebody said you're blah, 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 and this is my response. He talks into it. But right now in this stream, it's just like, yes. So can you all hear me? Yeah, the microphone's that way. Oh, is it? I'm having, I'm fumbling. Where is this microphone? It's right in front of your face, guy. Is it though? What if it's on my head? And since you gave him a prompt, like I'm gonna go to the kitchen and be busy too. And you hear pots and pans. Oh shit! I walked into the basement. Do you see how bad his microphone is right now? Yeah. Normally he's got it fixed. I'm kind of curious. I want to click on his thing and see what the fuck he's doing because I don't know. He's just like taking a glass. What is they doing? I hear noises and they're muffled talking, but what the fuck? Anyway, this is a little bit of my craziness. John. I'm sure you know characters like this. Happy Father's Day in advance if you're a father. If you're estranged with all your kids, oh, he was in an accident. He can't drive us around anymore. What a useless man. Fuck you, bitches. You know, you signed their birth certificate once, you can unsign them again. These are all undead monkeys. Now feed them to the organ grinder or something. Fucking Forge, man, fix this shit. I'm like yelling at this guy. I should go into his Discord. Hey, you want to like yell at him in his Discord? I'll give you the link so I can hear you. You know. Anyway, it's like I don't know how to do the link. Go to Discord. Go to Discord and search for Forge Uncharted. You might have him as a guest, and you guys could discuss that. I don't know. I got work to do. I gotta go in and pick up some stuff and talk to Steven Seagal or some other person that is also named Steven. You know, I might end this because it's basically a driving stream, but I'm here at my destination. I gotta do stuff. You know, think it over. You didn't even do the hard cam because a lot of us are set in our ways. It's like why do I have to do all that? Because that's lazy, 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 lazy. I'm gonna end this and I'll probably lurk and moderate in your channel. You I feel like it. Your place is very, very soothing. See you, John, and see you, the other guy person. Hope you're all wearing pants.